Welcome to day 5 of my Learn Self Hypnosis for Anxiety series, a series that gives you step-by-step instructions so you can learn self-hypnosis in just 5 days. If you have missed the previous 4 videos, click on the link at the top to be taken back to the first one. In this video, we're going to look at the language to use in your suggestion scripts, and I will give you lots of examples for different anxiety disorders. I'm also going to talk about something called post-hypnotic cues. And finally, I'm going to give you a summary of everything you have learnt. At the end of the video will be some example scripts for pre-induction, inductions, deepeners and awakeners. So first, language. The subconscious mind does not respond well to negative language. For example, if I say don't think of a pink elephant, you will probably think of a pink elephant. In the same way, if you say to yourself during hypnosis, I will not have a panic attack, or I must not worry about my health, then your subconscious mind will ignore it or do the opposite. Instead, you need to frame your suggestions positively and gently. So instead, you could say, I know my panic attacks always pass. And I might be surprised how short they can be if I allow them to pass, because I know they are harmless. Including truths in your suggestions is good. Your subconscious mind will accept suggestions that include truths. As awful as they feel, it's true that your panic attacks always pass, so your subconscious mind will not reject it or dispute it. Possibilities are also well received by the subconscious. With the suggestion, maybe I will be surprised at how quickly they pass, your subconscious mind now has to consider that there is a possibility that your panic attacks might get shorter. And this possibility is stated in between two truths. You do know deep down that panic attacks are harmless. And yes, I know you often worry that they're not, but you have survived many. So the logical part of your mind knows that the truth is panic attacks are harmless. Another important part of this statement is the phrase, allow them to pass. This is a CBT principle. CBT teaches you instead of fighting the panic, which makes it worse, you should just let it pass. You will remember from video 2 that the word allow shows that you are choosing an outcome, so your subconscious mind will be more accepting of it. So this one short section has 2 truths, a possibility and a CBT principle. Let's look at an example for health anxiety. Let's say you worry about your heart a lot, so you're constantly monitoring it. And you avoid exercise because the increased heart rate makes you anxious. Again, I'm going to include some truths, some CBT principles, and some possibilities. I know that I am young and my heart is healthy, so I can leave my heart monitor at home and go for a brisk walk. And as I feel my heart rate increase, I can smile to myself because I know my heart is doing exactly what it's designed to do. And I might wonder how much further I will be able to walk each day. Like many people with health anxiety, you've probably had your heart checked and confirmed to be healthy, so that's a truth. Smiling when you feel anxious is another CBT principle. Talking about your heart being designed to go fast is reframing of negative thoughts, another principle of CBT. And the words might and wonder suggest a possibility. Metaphors or symbolism can also be good in hypnosis. You could say, and as I leave my heart monitor behind, so I'm able to leave my anxiety behind. So keywords to include in your suggestion scripts are, I know, I'm able to, I can allow, I might, I may wonder, I'm learning. This last one is particularly important. No one instantly cures their anxiety. Instead, you learn how to manage it. And that's a gradual process. And your mind is very open to learning since it's done it many times before. Here are some examples which again include some truths. Just like I learned to drive, now I am learning to manage my anxiety. I am learning that I am able to allow my panic attacks to pass. I'm learning that the less I monitor my blood pressure, the more relaxed I feel. Have a listen to some of my hypnosis videos that you will find in my hypnosis playlist and see if you can spot some examples of truths, possibilities, metaphors or symbols, CBT principles, and learning analogies. Then write some scripts for your specific goals, whether it's to reduce taking your blood pressure or to be able to go somewhere or do something that you have been avoiding. But you're not just going to write one script. For each task that helps you in your anxiety recovery, you're going to write a script that makes that task easier. Don't forget to include lots of suggestions for calmness and relaxation like you did in the induction. Next, post-hypnotic cues. Post-hypnotic cues are used a lot in sports hypnosis. During hypnosis, you make an association between a physical action like pressing the thumb and forefinger together and a positive state of mind like when a sportsman is performing well. But in anxiety, you link the action to a state of calmness and relaxation. Here's how it works. Before the hypnosis, choose what action you're going to use as a cue. I'm going to suggest, instead of pressing the thumb and forefinger together, which creates tension, instead gently and very slowly stroke your thumb or your hand. The reason I like this action is I've noticed that when people are anxious, they often quite vigorously rub, stroke or fiddle with their hands. But gently and slowly stroking a hand or thumb, like this, is the opposite. Try and do it so gently and slowly that there is no tension in your hands at all. When you have the hang of it, introduce it to your hypnosis session. When you're fully relaxed after the induction or the deepener, perform the action, and while you're doing it, say something like, I know that whenever I stroke my hand, I'm able to feel as relaxed as I feel now. And the slower and more gently I stroke my hand, the calmer and more relaxed I will feel. You can repeat this a few times in your script, perhaps changing the words slightly each time, but given the same message that this action will relax you. Then whenever you're in an anxiety-provoking situation, you can use this cue to calm yourself down. It's a tool that you could use before doing graded exposure tasks or a behavioural experiment. So, to summarise this series, set smart goals for your self-hypnosis sessions. Choose a pre-induction and induction that works for you. Use a deepener if you want. Use the language that I have taught you in your suggestion scripts. Use imagined exposure. Use post-hypnotic cues. And incorporate suggestions that will help you do your CBT exercises, as that is what will make the biggest difference to your anxiety. I will leave you with some example scripts. Just pause the video on the ones you are interested in. But before I do, please give me a like, as it's taken me many weeks of work to make this series. Make sure you subscribe and check out my playlists. And let me know in the comments below if you have any questions, or just let me know how you get on with self-hypnosis. I wish you all the best in your self-hypnosis journey. I hope it brings you as much success as it did me.